I jerked awake with a gasp, blinking rapidly, trying to figure out what woke me up. As I tried to shake off the confusion of sleep, I rolled over. I nearly toppled out of bed when what I was seeing came into focus. I was eye to eye, almost nose to nose, with a child who was staring at me in surprise. The feeling of being watched must have been what pulled me to consciousness. But what was I actually looking at? I felt like my brain was short-circuiting. It was the right size to be a child, its eyes equal level to mine where I lay in bed. Yet, this child was unlike any child I'd ever seen. Standing before me was, well, if I had to put a name on him, I would say it was an orc. An orc child. He looked like the orcs I'd seen in one of my high school boyfriend's Dungeons and Dragons books, just child-sized. He was roughly the height of an average 8-year-old, but much stockier in build. His skin was a dusky green, almost the same color as pine needles. Black toenails and fingernails tipped both his fingers and toes. It didn't seem to be because of dirt or uncleanliness, but the natural color of his nails. He was wearing pants and a vest that looked as if they were made of woven fabric, neatly made and with decorative stitching down the seams. He was well cared for, this orc child. Examining his face, his startled eyes had light gold sclera and brown irises rimmed in black. His mouth hung open to reveal teeny tusks jutting up from his lower lip and elongated canines peeking out from his top lip. He had a shock of black hair and delicately pointed ears, and he looked absolutely horrified. Tears were leaking out of his eyes and his lip wobbled as he realized he'd been caught. I kicked into teacher mode immediately. "I'm okay. You just startled me. There's no need to cry," I whispered. Why was I whispering? "I just wanted to meet our new visitors. You won't tell my mama, will you?" he asked, his face full of concern. He met my gaze, then looked down, clearly ashamed to have been caught in my room. I grabbed the edge of my blanket and wiped his eyes, hoping to provide a small comfort. I took more of him in, noticing a leather belt that carried 2 small hunting knives, not much bigger than butter knives, really, and a small bag of some variety. He had a necklace of brightly colored beads around his neck, and one of his pointed ears had a small hoop earring. He glanced back at me, meeting my eyes. A child was a child, no matter what species. Being a teacher, I had a soft spot for little ones, and the somewhat misguided decisions they made. I grinned at him, and he hesitantly grinned back. Years of teaching had taught me to keep it together on the outside, even if I was losing it on the inside. Despite my friendly and calming demeanor with this orc child, on the inside, I was absolutely freaking out.